Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors, the biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. And we're just getting started. Ready to jump into some gameplay? Then get set for Gamescom Opening Night Live, featuring the major announcements and brand new game trailers. Less watching, more playing? Then stop by Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from beloved indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indies, our show featuring the hottest new titles from the scene. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom cosplay contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Join live shows, esports tournaments, and creator events at the Gamescom Event Arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website gamescom.global and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. While you're there, make your voice count in the Gamescom Award. Vote for the most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course, they're back, hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, AP, crashing the party. You'll find our all-time favorite RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us. Our initiative, Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
Gamescom 2025 is here. Today on IGN's Gamescom studio,
They're doing rounding up some vault hunters.
Borderlands 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Where Winds Meet, Ninja Gaiden 4, and so much more. Day one of IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2025 starts right now.
And welcome to Gamescom Studio 2025. I'm Jane Douglas here with Brian Altano and Max Scoville. Welcome to Gamescom.
Hey, Gamescom! Yes. We're doing it.
Last night's opening night live kicked off the show with a bunch of awesome new trailers and reveals, and over the next few days we'll be getting an even closer look at some of the biggest games right here on Gamescom Studio, including Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, and so much more.
Lego Batman looks incredible, and we cannot wait to talk to the people making it this week. If you see a game that you like on our Gamescom show this week, show some love to the developers by wishlisting their game on Steam through the official Gamescom Steam event, and also discover tons more games that are also worth checking out. It's a great place to track all of the biggest game announcements coming out of Gamescom.
But now let's check in with Damon on the stage for a look at what's coming up next.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Today is the exhibitor day here at Gamescom, which is sort of the calm before the storm, but as the week goes on, things are going to get absolutely crazy out here. Coming up, we're checking in on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. After that, we're going hands-on with the upcoming portable Xbox, the ROG Ally X. Then we're talking to the folks behind the big new third-person action game Where Winds Meet, and then we're talking to the creators of the Capcom action sci-fi game Pragmata. All that and more right here in Gamescom Studio, but right now, let's check in with Ian out on the show floor.
Well, welcome to Gamescom 2025. It's a brand new show, and for the 500,000 people expected to pass through its gates, there is plenty of games to play and plenty of things to do right here on the show floor, including the ROG Xbox Ally. Or is that the ROG Xbox Ally? Or just the Xbox Ally? I don't know, but what I do know is that later on we'll be chatting to its developers, and we'll also be checking out the big Capcom threesome. That's Pragmata, Onimusha Way of the Sword, and of course Resident Evil Requiem. So if you want to find out what we think of those, make sure to stay tuned to IGN.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Later this year, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is taking us back to the future, picking up 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2 in the year 2035. Here to give us a history lesson on the not-too-distant future, Associate Creative Director Miles Leslie of Treyarch and Natalie Pahorsky, lead producer for Raven. Welcome, folks.
Oh, excited to be here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All right, so Black Ops 7, bringing back David Mason. So we haven't seen him for a little while, not since Black Ops 2.
We have not.
Why are we bringing him back?
So much story there. Yeah, there's a lot. How much time do we have? Yeah. I think the quick version is we left David in a really hard place at the end of Black Ops 2. There were branching storylines, so we've never really confirmed what really happened. Black Ops 7 will really cement that. We're not going to spoil it right now. We want you to get into it. But he's a character that has really deep, really emotional scars, but physical scars and what he went through. And we always knew we wanted to go back to tell that story of after Raul Menendez and the 2025 attacks, what happened to the world and what happened to David. There was so much depth there that it was just right for telling this story with David as sort of the, I would say, the anchor to the story.
Okay. Now, Black Ops has like historically drawn on like mysterious, like actual real historical elements like MK Ultra, numbers stations, various geopolitical events. Where are you drawing your inspiration for Black Ops 7 this time, now that it's set in the kind of future?
Oh, I love that question.
I know. Well, it is the near future, you know, and we're also building on Black Ops 2. So there's sort of an extrapolation of where we'll be in the next 10 years and also where we've been.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We like to tap into the zeitgeist, and I think for us, it's really this fear of really the world on itself is fearful, and really that's being pushed. And Black Ops 7 really leans into that fear is when the world is in a chaotic state and you don't know who to trust, even yourself, which I feel is very, relatable. That's the main story that we're diving into, and you're going to get all your twists and turns and your mind bending like you would expect from Black Ops.
Yeah, now fear has, especially of late, been kind of a theme for Black Ops. And in the recent trailer, we've seen not just fear, but like more of the hallucinatory, like head trippy stuff. Looks a little bit like scarecrow fear toxin type scenario. Can you speak to that? Like, how much psychological horror are we going to have in Black Ops 7?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. I feel
much
like,
can we say?
yeah. In Black Ops 6, we had a certain mission that was more in that, survival horror realm.
Yeah.
And we had a blast with it. We know players loved it. So part of this is just the thematic storytelling of digging further into that. It allows us to dig into Mason's brain and where he's at. And then part of it is just we had so much fun with it in the past, and we want to bring more of that back.
Yeah, it was a new way, and I think to Natalie's point is we developed BO6, BO7 together, and so we knew where both games were going, and we wanted to make sure they stood on their own as really chunky, big games. And so that fear angle you're talking about, yeah, Scarecrow and Batman, it was a huge sort of inspiration on how to mess with people and really bubble up their own fears and regrets and memories. And David and his team and other characters in the game, they get that manifest. They get to experience that, and it's traumatic and also bombastic and blockbuster moments.
Yeah, it allows for a lot of like spectacle.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with that kind of warped reality stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, every entry in the Black Ops series has added something new to the way you play campaign. I want to say maybe here, like Endgame is going to be the big thing for changing up campaign. Can you tell us about Endgame?
We can, yeah. I want to start with co-op campaign on its own. Already huge innovation.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've really done that. This story really demanded that because we wanted to put players into the 4 squad, David and his team, and feel immersed in that. And then to your point is after, it's really sort of, I would say, the final proving ground, the epilogue of the campaign is you get this ending. Everything you've built is now into the end game, and we really wanted to break the rules of the campaign. We've constantly been how to push ourselves and break the mold, and it's a social experience. PvE, you and 32 other players, squads of 4, and all of the abilities and all of the different twists and turns kind of come to a head in this, again, this final proving ground. It's a lot of fun and very different, but on purpose.
Yeah, and then at this point, you've spent a lot of time in Avalon, also outside of Avalon as well, but you're back in Avalon, you know this map, you know where you want to go, and it's going to be, a great experience.
It all opens up now to Natalie's point, where, through the linear missions, you go to Avalon, you experience little bite size of it, but we're really like teasing it, and now it all opens up. Where do you and your squad want to go? Okay,
and you're making progress and you're unlocking things that can be carried over into other parts of the game?
Yeah, so it's really about survival. So we wanted to your point about the mind bending and fear and hallucinations is part of the story. And sort of you saw it in the trailer, you kind of get hit with this toxin and that really starts to manifest these fears. Endgame ramps that up. There are difficulties that you have to progress through. And the fun and challenging part is you and your squad have to push through these difficulty zones and you get to level up. So we have a operator leveling where you can try to get to level 60 and it's about gaining power. And narratively we have sort of this thing called a C-Link, Cerebral Link, and it's like basically plugged into your brain where it's learning from your enemies. And so the more you fight, the stronger you get and you learn from them and you get amazing abilities. You saw some of this in trailer, like Mega Jump and some other things that really allow you and your squad to get bombastic moments.
Yeah, the Mega Jump's like a multi-story
Oh,
jump,
yeah.
like superpower stuff.
And you can chain it into the wingsuit, right?
Yeah.
You can grapple into it. So you start to chain all these things, and that's where you've learned to use these through the campaign. And then now it's like, okay, here's the toy box. How do you want to approach it?
All right. You mentioned co-op. Can you tell us about how co-op is going to be integrated into the campaign? Like, how are you going to manage like difficulty for co-op players?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could dive in if you want to go.
Yeah, I think Endgame is where we get into a bit more of that. But from the beginning, again, we're putting you in with these 4 characters of the story. We want you all to be experiencing it at the same time, going through these linear missions. And so that's really the focus. I mean, you can the characters and your teammates can focus on a particular area in the gameplay. But that's where that really comes in.
Yeah, and for the difficulty is we've baked it in. So solo players, we've built it for solo or for a squad as well. You cannot pick difficulty like past games. We've baked it in because you have to approach co-op campaign differently. And we wanted to make sure the missions felt right for solo players. We're not forgetting about you. We love you. But also because it is a social experience, we want to make sure it's fun, but the right amount of challenging for 2, 3, and 4 players as well.
Okay. All right. Switching gears a little bit, we saw a little bit of what looks like Dead Ops in the trailer. What can you tell us about Dead Ops?
Let's see. What can I tell you? It's over the top.
Yeah.
Literally over the top, I like saying that, but it's also really fun. And I think the other major thing, and this is really ties to the whole game, is it's rewarding. So for the first time when you're playing Dead Ops, you can progress your global progression. And so one of the big things in the game across all of Black Ops 7 is we want to reward the player's time. So it doesn't matter where you are. You're in Dead Ops, you're in Zombies, you're in multiplayer, you're in co-op campaign, you're in endgame. You are progressing your global progression. And that's huge for players because we know they never want to feel like their time's wasted. We heard you. Go play with your friends anywhere and you'll be rewarded.
Okay. And Zombies more broadly, it's back, it's round-based?
It's back. It's round-based. It's the biggest RBZ map you've ever seen in your life. It's outrageous. I love saying this because the zombie team's like, hey, the story's crazier, and it's like, crazier? Really? Yeah, like how? They did it. It's outrageous. It's amazing. And then the original crew is back, but not as you would expect.
Okay, interesting. I just wanted to shout out because we were looking at multiplayer, and you've got a score streak, and it's like a Boston Dynamics robot dog.
Yeah.
Right? I just want to shout that out. It's like that. It looks perfect, but with a turret on it because the original big dog didn't have like a mounted.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good catch, and that's a sort of a deep cut to the back to the story. Is in 2025 Black Ops 2 we had the Claw, which was like that robotic. This is sort of the evolution of that, is the dog. Yeah, it has ginormous rockets on it. It's also really cool. It can go in sentry mode, and it has a trophy system on it, so it feels, again, more like you're connected to that technology, and you and your squad can use it. But it's a beast in the campaign. It's a beast in multiplayer as well.
All right, very cool. Excited for the robot dog. Switching gears once again, right, Tim, the Battlefield 4 beta has had 500,000 concurrents on Steam. Obviously, a lot of interest in that game, very popular. That's topping Call of Duty's record. How is Call of Duty going to stay fresh in the face of some stiff competition, some new competition?
Yeah, I think for us is we play all games, right? And I'm not going to say we didn't play it. We had fun playing it. But for us it's focusing on what we do best. And really, the passion from the team is coming through in Black Ops 7. I hope that's coming through from the team. We're focusing on our own thing. And, when we're having fun and we're listening to the feedback, we think we've got something special here, and we think fans are really going to like it.
All right. And how is that success of the Battlefield 4 beta, how is it affecting your decision-making, or is that kind of set aside?
Yeah, it's not, right? Like, we're focusing on our own thing, so for us, it's like, let's stay the course. And again, where we're iterating and having fun, we know our path and our vision from the game. We've been working on this a while, and we're really just executing on that.
All right. Since we're running low on time, what do you have in Black Ops 7 that wasn't possible before, that you couldn't include ever before?
I love that question. I think
Didn't include before.
Yeah, I think for me the main one is the social experience. For the first time now, you and a squad of 4 can literally play all parts of the game, and that is something we have been dreaming about, is how to do that. When was the right time to do it? And so, like, we'll literally be in playtest and be like, let's go play co-op campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're like, okay, let's take a break. And now we're in zombies. Okay, let's take a break from that. Now we're in multiplayer. Let's take a break from that. Now we're in endgame. Let's take a break from that. Now we're in DOA. And so it's really amazing.
jump around.
You can
Yeah.
jump around. And for
Yeah.
us, it was really keeping the squad together because we know this is a community. We want players to stay together throughout the entire game.
Yeah, we're all different types of players. We know there's a lot of different players out there. I'm a single player girly, and I got so excited about campaign. I also love that we get to tell a character-driven story. We care a lot about the lore, and we care a lot about our characters, obviously, as you can tell, but being able to focus on these key areas and key memories, all of that is just so exciting to me.
All right, very, very cool. Thanks so much. Thanks for your time today. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 hits all the Xboxes, both the PlayStations and PC on November 14th. But stick around, there's more Gamescom Studio coming up right here on IGN.
Welcome to Gamescom. We're here at the Asus booth to talk to Galip Fu about the new Xbox Ally consoles. We're super excited to learn more about them. So could you just explain what are the two models and how are they different? Who are they intended to be used for?
Yeah, thanks, Will. So this time together with Xbox, then we're launching two very good models. And the first one is the white one. You know, it's called the RG Xbox Ally. It's the base model, offer immersive 720p gaming experience for most of the game titles. And the other one is the premium model, the black one, the RG Xbox Ally X. So it basically offers a superior gaming experience for all the AAA titles in 1080p quality and also a long battery life. So I think together with both models, then we're trying to penetrate into more of the console part of the market and also the our strength where is the PC gamer part of market. And right now, I think based on all the feedback and also the reaction, you know, from the media friends and also the users, we believe that this will be something that definitely people will love to purchase in the holiday season.
The new models being as more an upgrade option for people that have already got a PC handheld, or do you see it more as something that's exposing to a whole new market and trying to really expand the number of people that consider these devices?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, Will. I think it's both because I think first starting from the hardware perspective and as we RG, you know, as the hardware expert in PC gaming, of course, in terms of the hardware part, we also do some good upgrade. I think the first part that you definitely can feel is about the overall ergonomics of the device that inspired by the Xbox controller. So this time, for our design of the holding, then intuitively you can feel this is just like an authentic Xbox experience. So the feel is so good and even better than our previous model, even though based on the community feedback, our ergonomic design of the previous model already good, but this time will make it even better. And some of the design details will also make it more exquisite, and I think that'll be also appealing to most of the gamer.
Sure.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I think overall gaming experience, and that is what Xbox they are good at, right? So we're working closely, we're working very hard, try to get the authentic Xbox experience onto the device. So everything starting from the user interface and how you choose to launch the game in the library, and for the game experience, it is 100% Xbox experience. So if we combine two together, then it's like the unicorn in the market. It's something that I think if we compare with the current landscape of the PC handheld gaming market, we're doing something really different, totally different, and we believe that this will be something that everyone should get their hands on to experience in Gamescom. Yeah.
You mentioned the ergonomics before.
Yeah.
Is there anything inside the processor that would require more cooling, anything like that, or is it more just a refinement of the ergonomics purely from a user experience point of view?
Yeah, so I think for this part of design changes, it's basically mainly because of the reason I just mentioned. We want to offer an even better ergonomics. So just imagine, you know, it's like we split the Xbox controller into two halves and then combine into a PC game handheld. And then for the controller itself, it is thicker, by nature because it is more comfortable to hold. So that is the main reason why I think the overall thickness increased a little bit, but not the weight actually. So when you hold it, I think you just experienced that earlier, right? So when you hold it, it feels just so good. So actually, you don't feel it's just several millimeters thicker, but actually also based on our study and also our discussion with the community, it doesn't that matter. It doesn't matter that much, for those several millimeter thickness if the overall ergonomic is to another level.
Sure. Right.
So that is our direction in improving, the overall hardware and also the ergonomic experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is this model faster than the previous Ally X? And if so, about how much? You have an idea?
Yeah, I would say we are still working very hard, with Xbox team to optimize everything, right? No matter the software experience, the gaming experience, the hardware experience. So I think for the precise figures or numbers, that is something that later on, just stay tuned with us. Later on, that we will just give a very clear projection, to the public, so everyone will know the performance leap, from the previous generation. But as of now, we focus more on the gaming experience. So right now, just like what you have experienced on the base model and also the premium model, I think in terms of the pure gaming experience, let's forget about those frame rate or some other part of benchmark. If when we are thinking about the from the PC gaming mindset, we're offering right now at this stage that everyone can just experience by themselves an authentic and very good gaming experience.
All right, fascinating stuff. So thanks very much for joining us, and stick with us for more Gamescom 2025 coverage as it occurs.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
This is Gamescom Studio right here on IGN, where Winds Meet was one of the biggest games of the show when it was revealed back in 2022, and it's been high on a lot of players' wish lists ever since. Here to share some wisdom about this epic kung fu open world, I'm joined by Eric Zhang, head of Where Winds Meets Publishing, and Raven, who will be doing the translating for us. Hi, guys.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Hi, Eric. So, it might be helpful if I had my card with me. So how's the closed beta feedback and its release in China helped with its upcoming release?
好，那么首先就是
你们上一轮 CBT 的这个反馈就是怎么样，以及它对于你们接下来在中国这边的运营就是有怎么样的影响？
首先我们上一轮收获了非常惊喜的反馈，不管是我们产品的一个后台的实时数据，还是说我们喜爱我们的玩家们在 SNS 上的各种分享和发言，都对我们游戏表达了非常热烈的反馈。那一方面，这些热情呢，也让我们决定要加紧我们的速度，尽快完成我们产品的一个上线，早日与大家去见面。
Right. So we've had a lot of surprising feedback from players, and it's all very exciting. Both in terms of all the data we collected on the back end, but also in terms of all of the comments that players had for us on all the social media. And it's been very exciting for us, and it's also been a factor in making us decide to push forward the release date to deliver the game earlier to players.
That's always good news. Earlier is always better. How about Black Myth Wukong? What about that game and other Chinese action-adventure games has influenced either your game design or your release strategy in the West?
好，这当然能够早点上线，我们大家都非常殷切的希望能够见到。那么我们谈谈《黑神话：悟空》之前这款游戏，像这款游戏以及其他的中国的这些动作冒险游戏，是对于你们游戏的这个开发本身和在西方推出这方面有没有怎么样的影响？
首先我们非常高兴的看到有越来越多受欢迎的游戏作品的推出，那我们也当然非常希望自己也能成为其中的一员。但是呢，我们产品其实从2019年就已经开始立项了。那对于这样一个如何把武侠和开放世界融合好的这样的一个挑战，其实是前所未有的。所以我们在这段时间里面，就是一直以来更多的可能会关注我们自己怎么样把这样的一个产品表达好。那其实像中国武侠小说有句话叫做坚守本心，方能成就大道。所以我们一直以来也是想办法如何更多的去完成自己的这样一个挑战的一个命题。
Right. So first of all, I'm really happy for all of the games that all of these amazing games that have been developed and been released and been so welcomed by the player population. As for our own game, we started this project originally in 2019. So a lot of our thoughts were concerned on the idea of how to implement our theme of wuxia and to have it integrate, fuse seamlessly with the open world. So a lot of our focus throughout the last 5 years has been how exactly to make the game exactly the way we want. And so like we like to say back in the day in China, you have to kind of stick by your original aspirations in order to walk the grand path to its end, to have this grand achievement in the end.
Excellent. Yeah, you got to stay true to yourself, right?
Yes.
So Where Winds Meet is set during the 10th century China, an era Chinese audiences are probably familiar with, but Western audiences may not. How do you go about introducing Western players to historical figures, innate cultural references, and localization and onboarding?
那好了，因为这个游戏我们知道它时代是发生在第10世纪呢，对于中国玩家来说，可能对于这个时代是会比较熟悉的。但是对这个历史没有什么了解的西方玩家来说，你要怎么样去给他们介绍，通过本地化或者是什么翻译的方式去给他们介绍这个时代的一些背景人物啊，还有一些文化的一些援引啊，等等。
首先可能我想补充一点，就这个朝代呢，可能不仅说对于很多西方的玩家，可能包括中国的很多玩家对这个朝代的涉猎也比较少，因为它在中国的一些文学作品或者电影电视剧里面改编的数量，对比熟知的唐朝、宋朝是非常少的。对，所以那我们其实面临的任务呢，我觉得都是一样的，如何把这个朝代里面这些非常有时代张力的英雄的故事能够好好的讲给我们全球的玩家去听，这一直是我们的一个任务和挑战。那具体到我们怎么样让海外的玩家去理解很多比如说武侠的或者说朝代的一个背景呢？我觉得其实这里面我们也有很多是源自于我们玩家给我们的一些建议。对，然后包括可能给您举一个非常有意思的例子，就是我们游戏里面的时间在中国是用的中国传统的计时，就子丑寅卯这样一个非常传统的计时方式，但是我们考虑到可能海外的用户比较难去理解这样的一个设计，所以我们把它转换成了动物的形式，比如说子就对应的是老鼠，它就是中国传统的12生肖。那我们用这样的一些图案去表达了，就能更好的让用户理解这背后的一个含义，同时保留原本的原汁原味的韵味。
Right. So. To dovetail off of the comment that you just made, I think it's not just about Western players, but even for Chinese players. I think the 5 dynasties and 10 states
we have in the studio, these guys, they know the game by heart, and so it's so cool to work with them. And another one called Andrew is a super fan, and a good anecdote is that he had a baby during the production of the game.
Yeah.
And so we celebrated it. I did a sketch of the prince with the baby and everything.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, these guys are truly part of the team, and I want to thank them truly for all this early access. It was great.
I think that's one of my favorite
Dylan grins.
these days as well, is how much the community can get involved in games now and like kind of give feedback and kind of work directly with the studios. It's not something we really had in the past.
Yeah, that's something truly unique. And, like the instantaneity of it is awesome, because you can just ask a question, brainstorm an idea about like game design or whatever, and they will like answer directly. It's so great.
Now, also, one thing, a lot of fans have been asking about the story of Rogue Prince of Persia and how it's going to evolve over time. Can you go a bit more into that?
Yeah, so basically the story basically
Matthew.
You've accidentally triggered an invasion of Persia, and then you've kind of got to figure out a way going into the city each day and trying to find clues, and then finding the clues, you unlock biomes, and then maybe you have to like take an item and do something with it to then unlock something else, find a character who then tells you somewhere else you can go. So it's basically kind of like a puzzle in real time as you go through each run to find the one true way to finally save Persia and rectify your mistake.
You said about clues, right? Something that we would expect. Hidden elements in the game. Are there some of those for us to find?
Yeah, there's definitely hidden rooms where, you know, like you'll find characters and stuff.
Y le voy a dar para atrás que se joda. Le voy a dar para atrás porque yo estaba interesado bastante en eso de la y con eso fue que abrieron directamente
I love the old games as well. And players been like one of the most things as well when you look at the game. First of all, the visuals.
Yo pensaba que eso iba a estar todo unificado en un solo canal.
You're obviously massively behind this. Could you go a bit more into what inspired you and how you kind of worked on
the vision around Xbox has really transformed over the years of people playing
Phil Spencer.
devices, people playing anywhere.
We know what players want. They want a game on
Rebecca Huang.
This was a #1 request from our fans. We're working in
Jason Rowland
with Asus on a brand new handheld called the Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X.
The best game library on the go basically changes everything.
Gameplay is shown for Gears of War, Sea of Thieves, and more.
Now where I'm able to take the game that I'm playing on my beefy home PC gaming rig and take it with me on a portable device.
Big question
Casey Bates
is how are PC games going to play on a handheld form factor? The games are largely going to play like they do on PC.
The Xbox Ally targets 720p, while the Xbox Ally X targets 1080p. Most titles will perform between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second, but certain games have the potential to hit up to 120 frames per second. As frame rates rise and fall, variable refresh rate, or VRR, will deliver a consistent and fluid visual experience. Players can further fine-tune a variety of device settings in the command center, from optimizing battery life to remapping buttons.
The Asus Armory Crate has 3 distinctive settings that are really great. There's the silent mode, where these dark gaming sessions you will have. There is a performance mode, so your battery life is optimized. And then, of course, for the top performance factor, you would use turbo mode.
When we talk about optimizing for handheld, it's less about stripping games down and more about ensuring playing the game on a handheld is as easy and effortless as possible. Games that run at 30 frames per second or above will get a should perform well on this device tag. Games that hit 60 frames per second or above will carry a should perform great on this device tag. Games that haven't been tested yet will have a performance check not available yet label. As more games are tested, updated, and optimized for handheld, these labels will evolve over time.
This is about giving players a device with no obstacles to fun. So one example is making sure that it's going to work seamlessly with a controller. Are all menus and prompts working as intended? And are those UI elements properly sized for the smaller screen? Another example of an essential compatibility feature is having a gamepad keyboard. If a game passes all these checks, they're considered handheld optimized and will be labeled as such. On the Xbox home screen, you'll find a new handheld optimized channel that will curate these titles for players.
We test on the Ally all the time as we're building Roblox. For a player, that means more immersion, better graphics, smoother animation. You get to play games the way they were built.
If you're playing Doom the Dark Ages on the PC or the console, you expect an ultra-responsive, fast-action FPS experience.
On your Xbox Ally, Doom the Dark Ages will be every bit as fast and responsive as you'd expect.
Text, Part 2, Shared Library.
There are so many places to get your games.
We think about having this unified game library and how it can bring your entire game collection together.
Any recently downloaded and played games from other PC game stores, from Battle.net, the Epic Game Store, Ubisoft, Steam, GOG, or EA, the Xbox app automatically finds them and will show them in your game library. And right on the Xbox home screen, under Most Recently Played.
My most recently used game should be something that sticks with me everywhere I go, creating a unified user experience.
You're going to see games you played on Xbox. If it's a PC native game, you're going to be able to play it right there. If it's a console,
Sarah Bond.
You're going to be able to stream it from the cloud. If you're down in your basement and you want to stream direct from your console that you've got upstairs, you're going to be able to do it.
I'm able to continue to experience the worlds and characters that I love anywhere that I want to play. This is going to be awesome. Now we literally have a device that could go with you everywhere.
The ROG Ally hovers in a garage.
Hey there everyone, I'm Henry, and today I'm joined by Dom and Brianna from Xbox and Gabe from our friends at Asus, who are going to tell us a whole lot more about the ROG Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X, which are the very first handhelds giving Xbox fans the freedom to play anywhere. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to Cologne, guys. How you doing?
Thank you for having us. It's been busy.
The four of them sit at a booth on the show floor.
To be here.
Well, I've got to say, it's incredibly distracting having the Ally X in front of me. I want to just grab it and have a go, but why don't you tell us, why is Xbox making a handheld right now?
Handheld gaming felt like a really natural next step for Xbox. Being able to break out of the living room and play anywhere is so central to our vision of putting players at the center, wherever and however you want to play. And we saw this wave of innovation happening in the handheld space from brands like Asus, and we knew that we could fuel that with so much more energy from Xbox. So when we started talking to Asus, it became apparent like how much more we could do together. We share the same obsession with our players and our devices and gaming in general. And we just realized that by building a device together, we could do something much more special and much more quickly than either of us could do alone. And so that's what brought us to the Xbox Ally. The Xbox Ally really brings together that power of Xbox with the full freedom of Windows. That means that you can play your PC games natively from across storefronts. You can play your Xbox Play Anywhere games natively, and you can stream your console games as well. And really, this is just the beginning. Like, we have such a huge roadmap of improvements that we're going to continue building, continue delivering for our players. We're always listening to feedback, but I'm really excited for this first step.
As a device, it's got a really quite unique look about it. Gabe, can you tell us a bit about the hardware design of the Ally?
Absolutely. The design of the ROG Xbox Ally
features
natural ergonomics, comfort, and user familiarity. These solid contoured grips familiar with that Xbox controller we all know and love. And so design starts with your hand, right? We think about our opposable thumbs and the really nimble fingertips that we have. These are the tools that we use to write, to pick things up, and definitely to play. And so when you think about the devices as they are in their current generation, it really rests into your palm, and you're using your palm to pick up these devices. And I say it's kind of like a tray-like feel.
He picks up the Ally from the table in front of him.
It rests into your fingers and then into your palms, and then allows you to curve over, giving you the freedom to use that to play. On our wonderful new ABXY keys with the tactile feel and color coloring of the new Xbox controllers. It's not as simple, though, as just taking a controller and splitting it in half and putting a panel inside. Really, that would cause you to flare out. So there's a subtle detail of how you kind of want to have you fall in and be natural. And those contoured feels and this natural feeling really helps with the overall weight distribution. And that means comfort when you play long on these devices. And so with the Xbox Ally series, you're going to be able to play longer and play comfortably. And then, with the ROG Xbox Ally X, you then have the access to the impulse triggers. So then you're able to feel everything and be part of the game and immersive inside and in terms of all of the things that you would be familiar with on your Xbox controller today. And so you'll get all those game-centric cues coming through on your device.
It's so like fully fledged and very well optimized for gaming, which is why I need to ask, how has the Windows experience been optimized for gaming, which is primarily what we want to do with an Ally?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been a huge collaboration between Asus, Xbox, and Windows. And so we really thought about like what makes playing on Xbox so unique, and how can we bring those elements together with what makes Windows 11 so great for PC gaming. And that really led to, from my perspective, three big features. The first one is the Xbox full screen experience. The Xbox full screen experience is extremely tailored for the handheld device, for controller navigation, and right from the moment you turn on the Xbox Ally or the Xbox Ally X, you launch directly into this Xbox full screen experience. But what's even more interesting about what's happening here is not just the experience itself, but what's not happening. So we've collaborated really deeply with Windows to defer a bunch of processes that aren't required for gaming. So that means your desktop, the taskbar, all of these things aren't loaded when you boot into the full screen experience, giving all that memory back to your games. The second feature is the aggregated library. So because this is Windows, we know that our players have catalogs of games that span across different storefronts. We want to bring your full library together in one place in the aggregated library so you can see all of your installed games from different storefronts. This makes it super easy to launch your games, kind of stay in that Xbox full screen experience for more of your experience, and just really experience the full value of the device. The third feature that we've really invested deeply in is the Play Anywhere feature. So Xbox Play Anywhere has been a program for a long time, but we've really been investing in it so deeply, and there's now over 1,000 games that support Xbox Play Anywhere. For your Xbox Play Anywhere games, you can bring your progress, your saves, your achievements from your Xbox console or your Windows PC to your Xbox Ally, just again making that really so seamless. And again, we have a huge roadmap of improvements we're working on together and with the Windows team. So it's really exciting, and I think there's going to be so much more to share, and we're always listening to feedback. But these three features, to me, are what make the Xbox Ally so special.
Dominique gestures to Gabe.
Locked in. We've also got just a lightweight Windows primed and ready for gaming. Yeah. Gabe, tell us a bit about the horsepower behind it and the partnership you've got with AMD to really make games shine.
Absolutely. We're really pushing the boundaries of silicon with this device. Efficiency is the Xbox Ally superpower. These class of processors are tuned specifically for handhelds. I'm super excited to talk about what's in the Xbox Ally X. It hosts the Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme. We've taken the best performing processor on the market and added MPU. That means you're ready for new frontiers in local AI gaming while having the best efficiency possible on these new amazing generational changes with the Z2 Extreme. For the normal Xbox Ally, we have the Z2A, the first time a handheld processor of this type has been productized for Windows. So that means amazing performance from 15 to 20 watts. Again, efficiency is the superpower. And so for that part, I would say we also can include AMD's Fluid Motion frames. AMD's Fluid Motion frames bring smoothness and additional frames to allow you to enjoy that wonderful gameplay that's available for thousands of games and only on Windows. Lastly, I would say we're going to bring the power of AI to our devices. So for both the Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X, you'll be able to have Copilot for gaming, a game guide you can call from the Xbox menu that assists you while you play.
It's all super exciting, Brianna. I don't think we should keep anyone waiting any longer. Why don't we take a look at how the Xbox Ally X works? And I think we should get a camera in here as well so that people at home can definitely take a look. But show me how you turn on one of these things.
Yeah, so one thing that's great is
Brianna picks up the Ally X
button. But as Dom mentioned, we made a lot of improvements in Windows to help add gamepad navigation across the device. So I can press A to dismiss the lock screen, and I can navigate all elements that I would expect to with a gamepad. One of the features I really love is that we've added gamepad indicators to the pin pad. So if you're familiar with them on console, you'll be able to enter your pin or have your own kind of combination that you would have to put in your password quickly. You can also use directional navigation, and we really want to give the flexibility to the players of how they want to get into their gaming session.
Cool.
So
I'm not going to peek at your pin, don't worry.
No one's going to look like what the pin is.
Device. I'll get my own later, don't worry.
Yeah. So I'm going to quickly put in a pin for this device, and you'll boot right into the Xbox app.
Cool. And what's the first thing we're kind of seeing here?
Yeah, this is that Xbox full screen experience that we've talked about. So it boots directly into this experience. It's really tailored for gamepad navigation, for the handheld screen. And again, it doesn't even load those processes that aren't required for gaming. In some of our initial estimates, this shows an estimated 2 gigabytes of savings in memory, which can all go back to your games, which means faster startup times and less idle power draw.
Absolutely. I mean, that was super snappy just to get into that.
Yeah.
Super cool. And I've got to say, big compliments on the library. I can really see. Why don't you run us through a bit of this experience as well?
Games such as Gears of War Reloaded, Expedition 33, and Banjo-Kazooie show.
push that, and I'll take you right to your library. Dom mentioned about the aggregated library. You'll see these new indicators across the thing. So, hey, these are my games from the Game Pass entitlement. These are the ones installed from other storefronts. And we really want to make sure that when people play a game in the library, they know what save they're doing it. You might be like me and you own the same game across multiple storefronts. Your save files are so important.
Yeah, I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah, and so you want to make sure that when you launch your game, you know where it's coming from, and you're able to kind of get that jump back in where you expect.
Amazing. Can you launch up a game for us? I'm going to let you choose.
Yeah, so let's launch up Gears of War.
No, van a enseñar
You can see that the bootloader that we have launches full screen. That really takes you to kind of that immersive experience, so you're not seeing those desktop elements that Dom mentioned previously.
A loading screen appears.
Something I use at home on my desktop, which is Game Bar. I use it to access my screenshots. I use it to access all of my friends lists, party chat.
Yeah.
Can we have a little look at that? How does that operate on the Ally?
Yeah, so one of the main differences between the original Ally and the Xbox Ally is now there's an Xbox button on the device. And so by pressing it, you quickly bring up Game Bar. And this is the optimized view that we shipped last year called Compact Mode. That takes that same...
An overlay appears.
Before that's completely extensible, but it puts it in a more streamlined, optimized form for these handheld devices. So it lets you quickly get access to device settings and, most importantly, Command Center.
Nice.
So instead of having multiple overlays that you're juggling, it's all in one overlay and it's all in Game Bar, and so you can get access to some of those awesome AMD features as well as the Asus features that you've been known for before, to be able to navigate those and adjust those kind of performance settings on the fly.
As a person who is already a multi-device user, it does instantly feel quite familiar as well. Like across my console or my PC, I'm kind of getting this very fluid and connected system. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So we can jump back into Gears of War, but we know this is a fully fledged Windows device.
Yes.
What else can you do with it? Are there other apps that you can use?
Yeah, so one of my favorite features is we've added a new custom task switching view. So by long pressing on the Xbox button, you'll get this new experience where you can quickly bumper between existing applications as well as go to the Windows desktop if you need to kind of tweak something that you can't do easily. And it really kind of makes it feel fast and fluid. And so if you're using Discord or getting a little hint and edge, you can quickly bumper between them and then go back to your game really smoothly.
So snappy. I absolutely love it. Dom, is there anything else you'd like to add as well to what we're seeing here?
Yeah, I mean, this is really our Xbox experience reimagined for handheld gaming. Built in collaboration with Asus, Windows, Xbox, and allows you to have that full immersion and effortless play. But really, games are at the heart of what makes a great Xbox experience, and that's why we're developing a new program called the Handheld Compatibility Program. And this will help you really easily understand what games play well on your device across things like text size, controller navigation. And so we're really excited to announce this program and work very closely with our developer partners on it as well to help you have the best possible gaming experience on your Xbox Ally.
That's so awesome. So all of that, and I hear that you've also got a little video for us to check out. Should we just load that up now?
Let's do it.
Text. Introducing handheld compatibility. Your games. Now optimized for compatibility on handheld. Gameplay is shown for Gears of War Reloaded, Hollow Knight Silksong, and others. Text. Tested by Xbox. No guesswork. Title, handheld compatibility.
So now that you've seen what the Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X can do, I bet you want to know when you can get your own one, huh? Well, Brianna, if I ask really nicely, is there anything you can tell us on that front?
I'm excited to share that the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X will be available worldwide October 16th.
So soon. Well, you heard it here first. The Xbox Ally comes out on October 16th.
Text. Learn more at aka.ms/Xbox Ally Gamescom.
Stick around for the latest on Rogue, Prince of Persia, and so much more as Xbox at Gamescom 2025 continues.
Mano, los dejó
Text. Play with Xbox Game Pass.
frenando en la acera. Ellos para
Gameplay,
limpiarse las
2D
manos,
side-scrolling
¿verdad?
platformer and hack and slash. Title.
Ellos para limpiarse las manos rápido se tiraron. No, porque aquí nosotros jugamos todo tipo de juegos. Porque esta gente vamos a ver Indiana Jones. Es prácticamente La misma mierda.
Just like a kind of a nice little quality of life add to the game. And the players love it. Like they think it's fantastic, and they want to know, hey, what are the next ones going to be? What's equipment that's going to be added so we can further develop this particular archetype? And that's been really surprising.
Le hicieron esa pregunta y el de Traya rápido no, porque nosotros somos como si no fuéramos una persona que se atan a un solo juego, que ellos juegan diferente. Pero esa pregunta le tuvo que haber picado bien duro, como que coño, déjame batearte la que toditos jugamos toda clase de juegos. Ellos saben que es una cagada, bro, porque lamentablemente para hablar los últimos 10 minutos.
That's also the shared DNA between Obsidian and Eidos Montreal.
O sea, déjale estar corriendo, bueno, si no se acaba de aquí a lo que son las 10.
And progression and player choice. And so this
hermano,
felt like a
prácticamente
natural
ese Braco
extension
7 eso es reciclado. Ellos hablan, no, que esto es nuevo, que mecánicas nuevas. Prácticamente lo mismo, todo reciclado. Ahora mismo eso de no tienes un jetpack para volar, pero encajas en las paredes. Prácticamente es la misma mierda, la misma mecánica vieja de Black Ops 4. Tienen las armas de Black Ops 2 ahí, no todas, pero durante el tiempo de vida del juego, pues van a seguir añadiendo a los mapas reciclados. Esos son mapas nuevos, son los mismos mapas reciclados. Bote toda esa gente para el carajo. Ahora mismo, ayer el pendejo ese de Alpha Sniper.
And so we really want the players to express themselves however they want, and we want to get their feedback so that we can find new ways to help them express themselves over the early access of this game.
Love that. I mean, with new classes, we've also got some new bugs as well in Grounded 2. How has that been for putting those into the game, implementing them, and how have the community received some of the new ones, like our new scorpions, our caterpillars, etc.? Are there any fan favorites that you've seen emerge?
Ahora mismo él había lanzado.
I don't know about favorites, but I mean, I think all of them have been really well received, but like for different reasons, of course. So like, we've got a ton of feedback from folks who are like, man, the caterpillars are so sweet, they're beautiful, and I have to kill them.
A la franquicia de lo que es prácticamente, ¿verdad? Solo Duty.
Justin mockingly shakes
Y entonces pues él de los diferentes puntos, obviamente no habló de la campaña, habló de prácticamente resumiendo un video que a lo mejor duró 40 o 50 minutos. Ese cabrón tuvo que haber estado hablando mierda. No habló de la campaña, habló de prácticamente de eliminar el skill based matchmaking, que las partidas sean como antes, que antes te podía tocar tanto como un pro como un newbie, despedir a las mentes creativas de los últimos títulos, que él dice que ha manchado lo que es Call of Duty. Yo lo diría en cuestión de las skins y todo ese revuelo. No me iría más como que lo ha jodido porque Modern Warfare 1 y Modern Warfare 2, las historias y toda esa mierda está bastante bien. De que ambos juegos tuvieron errores y toda esa mierda, eso pasa en todo, cabrón. Tipo de, no ha salido un puto juego perfecto, más que los cabrones indie. Cuidado, porque siempre salen con errores. Crear lo que es un anti-cheat nuevo desde cero. No dejarse llevar porque cierta compañía te va a vender un anti-cheat ya, o sea que ya lo tiene corriendo. Empezarlo desde cero. O si van a comprar uno que sea esté bastante balanceado, o sea, bastante pulido. Entonces el cabrón habla de lo que son los jugadores veteranos, los que están jugando, los que siempre han jugado Call of Duty, pero él dice que se va a enfatizaría más en los jugadores que hicieron Call of Duty, y tú no puedes decir eso, brother, porque cada persona tiene su modo de jugar. No puedes separar el pecho que porque sea la Sniper, por ser Soca, por ser Team de Batman por ser face, ellos hicieron Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty en general lo hizo la comunidad entera. No 4 o 5 huele bicho, porque para ese tiempo no se consumía mucho Twitch ni mucho menos YouTube, ¿sabes? Que eran streamers casuales. O sea, no pueden venir, él, especialmente él, no puede venir con esa mierda. Porque a él no le interesan los jugadores nuevos ni la gente que se pasa cambiando de juego por moda. Cosa que está malísimo, brother, porque tú no puedes decirle esa mierda cuando tú fuiste el primer cabrón en hablar mierda de Call of Duty y irte para Fortnite, a ponerte a jugar Fortnite y otros tipos de juegos. Que a ti entonces esa gente no te interesa si esos son los cabrones que ahora mismo están jugando en Call of Duty. Son los primeros en comprar las skins de esas aberraciones que han salido en el store ahora mismo. Entonces, ¿cómo tú vas a decir que vas a recuperar jugadores de la vieja escuela, pero que no te interesan los otros porque siempre están cambiando? Cabrón, tú no me puedes controlar a mí qué carajo yo juego, qué carajo yo streameo, porque tú no vas a estar consumiéndolos a ellos tampoco. Entonces él es de las personas que le gusta tirar la Call of Duty y al otro día está no con uno, con 2 bichos en la mano ahí, capoteándole a Activision, Treyarch, Raven, todas las compañías habidas y por haber que han metido mano en los juegos. Lo otro era recuperar el talento creativo, prácticamente los antiguos empleados y directivos que se han ido o los han votado de cada franquicia. Obviamente no tener skins y traer de vuelta lo que son las cajas estas que tú comprabas por ciertos tokens y te traía un arma random, un skin random, un título random, que eran como los supply drops que habían antes. Pues volver a traerle esa mecánica, pero es prácticamente la misma mierda que estuvieras comprando un paquete de skins por 200, 1000 o 1500 o 800 Call of Duty Points y te trae el personaje, el arma y quizás un calling card o los charms. Es lo mismo, es la misma mierda. O sea, no sé por qué él dice de quitar las skins y poner el supply drop, que es la misma mierda. Volver a poner lo que son las rachas, pero que estuvieran OP, en el sentido que antes tú podías tirar un Precision, Super Golem y toda esa cosa, y era bien OP, o sea, te daban un tiro, 2 o 3 y ya estaban muertos. Tirabas el extra y los matabas sí o sí, no importa qué, que te escondieras como una cucaracha, te ibas para el carajo. Y en el de ahora, pues tiras el kill strike y si no le das con precisión no vas a matar a nadie. Pero entiendo yo que está equilibrado, porque tú tiras un precision en Warzone y mínimo uno que se quede ya casi entrando a la puerta y pasó, lo tumbaste. O sea, no hay break. Ya si quiere que las balas traspasen por el building, ya son otros 20 pesos. Lo otro que quiere hacer es que cada update que vayan a tirar, que se pruebe primero antes del lanzamiento. O sea, que prácticamente que lo testeen, cosa que se supone, ¿verdad? Si tú haces un update para parchar una que otra cosa, eso se prueba antes de lanzarlo. O sea, nadie tira un puto update sin probarlo. Más que Windows, ¿verdad? Que tira un update que ha jodido medias computadoras. Pero en cuestión de los juegos, siempre se prueba porque para eso es el update, para arreglar el error que tenga. Pero como siempre pasa, como juego no perfecto en todas las categorías, que pueden de que sí, que arreglen una cosa, pero por ese update rompiste otra. Eso suele pasar. tampoco hay un update perfecto. Lo de los mapas de multiplayer, pues, ya eso ya lo había dicho. Lo de los zombies ya lo dije, que él dice que sería mejor traer los zombies de antes, como los de World of War, Black Ops 1 y Black Ops 2, que eran más como terroríficos, o sea, que era más de tensión, no como los zombies de ahora, que se ve como que medio pendejo. Él quiere eliminar Warzone, cosa que Warzone es aparte. Warzone no tiene que ver con el juego. Sí utiliza archivos y mierdas del juego original, pero si tú no tienes ningún juego de Call of Duty, tú puedes instalar Warzone y lo puedes jugar feliz de la vida. No hace falta tener el juego. Eso es algo estúpido, porque Warzone es completamente aparte. Y prácticamente crear un Call of Duty definitivo, que el juego sea gratis y que cada año tendría una expansión que tendría un costo de $19. Cosa que no capeo, porque como carajo tú vas a desarrollar un puto juego gratis que prácticamente estás exigiendo mucho, que no tenga errores y toda la mierda, y entonces prácticamente te vendan una expansión cada año por $19. No es factible, ¿sabes? El cabrón habla como si él fuera Elon Musk o esta gente multimillonaria. Eso no se puede hacer, huele bicho, no se puede hacer. Se hace cabrón.
Environmental concept art appears.
Y entonces él quiere anonimizar los títulos como lo que es Ghost, Infinity Warfare, Advanced Warfare, World War II. Cosas que no van a encajar. Como único encaja es que tú te vayas desde los juegos que eran así mismo, World of War, Vanguard, y vayas creando como una línea de tiempo desde lo más viejo hasta la guerra moderna y la era futurística. Pero nadie ha pedido esa mierda, ¿sabes? No, eso no caracteriza a este Call of Duty. Lamentablemente por eso es que ellos cada año pues nos vamos futurísticos, pues nos vamos con Black Ops. Los queremos ir enfocados en la época moderna, nos vamos con Modern Warfare. Nos queremos ir para futurístico, Infinity Warfare, Advanced Warfare y ahora esta mierda de Black Ops 7. ¿Quieres irte para los tiempos de antes? World of War 3 o World of War 2. Si tienen pensado lanzar un World of War 3, pues sería World of War 3. Es estúpido, ¿sabes? Y una persona de tan mala reputación en el sentido de que siempre ha vivido tirándole hate a Call of Duty, pero lo sigue consumiendo. Le crea, le llora como 30 o 40 minutos a Activision, a Treyarch. No, que si me van a perder como jugador, ¿tú te crees que esa gente le importa? Esa gente no le importa un carajo. Lamentablemente. Ellos no corren con batería, ellos simplemente crean el juego y ya se acabó. Porque ahora mismo es como el chiste que se tiró el pendejo ese de Treyarch. No, que si tienes otra consola, pues el progreso va a ser progresivo entre los tres ecosistemas, entre PlayStation, Xbox y PC. O sea que prácticamente tiene cross progression. Brother, eso lo tiene ya desde los últimos 3 o 4 entregas, tiene esa mierda. ¿Cómo carajo tú vas a decir, escuchemos la comunidad y tiene cross progression? Cabrón, eso no es algo nuevo. Pero pues, mientras sigan comprándole los jueguitos y apoyando esa mierda, pues eso es lo que nos van a seguir dando. Y espero, ¿verdad?, que en esta entrega de Battlefield 6 no decepcione y supere las ventas de Call of Duty. Que van a terminar hasta sacando otra versión que tenían engavetada de Call of Duty con tal de volver a recuperar los jugadores. Porque de verdad que no hay mucho joden. De verdad, ya Call of Duty, yo era bien fiebre del guarsoneo y lo que era el multiplayer, brother, y ya yo enganché los guantes ya. Tienen que crear algo, papi, from scratch, desde cero, a volver a agarrar. Y obviamente quitar esa mierda de está bien que tú quieras tirar, como cuando ellos empezaron a incorporar los skins. Eso fue para allá, para cuando salió Warzone en ese octubre, que tiraron la de Ronnie Darko, Leatherface, Ghostface. Eran skins que tú, coño, está bueno, está bien. No es algo fuera de lo normal. Pero después, mano, empezaron a meter que si el pony, los cabrones esos que tenían prácticamente unos cascos gigantes de diferentes animales. Ahora esto de Borderhead, yo creo que la última colaboración es American Dad, y yo creo que King of the Hill también se va a ir enredado ahí. Lo de las tortugas ninja, mano, que lo de, por lo menos lo que fue Squid Game, pues eran skins, no era algo fuera lo normal porque son jugadores normal con el uniforme. El único que cambió de los skins de los Squid Game era el frontman, que es el que estaba vestido de negro con la máscara. Pero que no es algo fuera del planeta como los que han tirado. Pero vamos a ver si Call of Duty muere en octubre. En octubre es que sale Battlefield. Noviembre. Noviembre 14.
Let's talk to the community and see if there's something that's like close to that sort of like makes sense or we can make work. So it's just a whole lot of things, and you know what?
Noviembre 14. Como se supone que salgan los juegos de Call of Duty. Que sean en noviembre 14, que uno estaba acostumbrado a esperar la entrega.
It's just so supportive and so great, and you know it's because I think, you know, we try to interact with them constantly. We try to listen to them, we try to make changes that they want, and I think they appreciate that and are loved. And it's really something special. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely, that was something everyone at the team at Eidos Montreal saw right away. That the story of the success of Grounded was that this community wasn't just rooting for the game; they were rooting for the team as well, and the team wasn't just trying to make this game in a bubble. They really wanted to collaborate with this community, and it's that healthy bond between them, that interdependence between them, that resulted in an amazing game. And so, of course, we want to replicate that success. Of course, we want to replicate that feeling for the community, and of course, we want to allow that to put us in a position to create the best version of Grounded 2 possible.
That's beautiful. That's so fun. Well, I have some ideas that I'll have to tell you afterwards off stage, but
can't wait
I'm going to write them down yet, and be sure to join that Discord as well to chat more Grounded. But honestly, Parker, Justin, thank you so much. I've had just a blast talking about Grounded 2, and I can't wait for all the new updates that we've got as well. Thank you
for having us.
Thank you. Like, you know, being able to just talk about the game and a situation like this is awesome.
Heck yeah.
And thank you so much.
No, thank you. I mean, there's so much more to look forward to as Grounded 2 continues to grow. But for now, we go from the ground to the air to explore the biggest biome of all, Earth's atmospheric envelope. There's new places to go and new ways to get there, so let's set a course for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But on the way, we'll have a brief stopover on Star Sand Island.
what we had to run away from in this small section of a hospital.
Yeah, it's a very, and you say small section, it's a very small section. It's like one long hallway and then a couple of rooms, not really much room to outrun like a lumbering stalker. Like, she can barely fit in the space as well. Like, she's hunchback, she's like squeezing through these environments, and you can hear her shambling the entire time. But it felt like a little bit of a fresh take on a stalker to me. Like, do you agree?
Yeah, I think whereas kind of like, for example, Lady Dimitrescu, I guess the most recent one that we've had, the way that she followed you around kind of like the castle in Resident Evil Village was fairly standard. Like, she ran behind you, whereas this, I think there's almost a little bit more of something like Alien Isolation in there. The stalker is able to kind of go up into the roof space and crawl across and cut you off in areas. It also has kind of the elements that Jack Baker had, where she can burst through doors, which creates new routes that you can loop around. But yeah, it does feel like genuinely like this is a step up. This is the next way of making the Mr. X kind of theory even more sort of like terrifying, even more inventive in the way that it forces you to think about the space.
I mean, interestingly, you mentioned about bursting through the door there, but we both played the game and we both saw like different versions of that. So for me, it was very much a Jack Baker. I came out and burst through, but for you, you decided to take different routes, and that didn't necessarily happen organically like it did for me.
Yeah, I think basically there are definitely trigger points, I think, for the stalker to be able to do certain things. But if you don't pass that trigger point and you move around the environment in a different way, then suddenly things aren't happening, which doesn't unlock routes for you. So like you say, if you walk down that corridor and she bursts through the door, suddenly you've created a loop between a room and a corridor. Well, I moved a different way, and that route didn't exist for me, which meant that ultimately I actually got trapped by the stalker and had to find a different way out because I was really up against the wall. I'd not got that door to escape through. And so I think kind of like seeing how that stalker, particularly presuming we get her in a larger environment than we did in this demo, I think there will be like lots of interesting kind of challenges for you to face because of the way it works with the environment.
Yeah, it's really interesting. One of my favorite touches of the new Stalker, though, what we've seen, is that she reacts to light, like light burns her skin, and I think they've really used this in a clever way to abolish one of the stranger things about a stalker in previous games. So you might have seen memes of Mr. X trying to come into your safe room and peeking his head in, but then all of a sudden decides, oh no, I can't go in that room. Well, now they've found like a law, like an actual logic reason. If she comes into your room with a bright like room light, her skin will burn and she'll retreat. And it's just those little touches that make it feel like potentially this could be a stalker of the ages.
Yeah, definitely. But the other thing is whereas this demo didn't have like a classic safe room, right? It had rooms with the big lights on that you knew would be safe. But sometimes it'll pull a trick on you where you go into that room and the light smashed out, and suddenly it's like the place that you thought was safe, the place where you thought I'll get like 2 or 3 seconds to just get away from this creature, rethink what my plan is, suddenly that room is no longer safe. And I think that like playing with your expectations, a lot like Resi has done all the way through its history, particularly with the remakes, is use your expectations and then pull the carpet from under you. I think it does that very well.
Yeah, so interestingly, the rest of the demo, there was a lot of things that felt very familiar. There was a lot of collecting keys for doors, there was all sorts of that stuff. But one thing that was quite unique, well, at least for a release Resident Evil, is that you could play this in either first or third person. You can just go into the menu and switch it anytime you wish. Which way did you prefer?
So I'm actually a real big fan of like Resi's pivot into first person. That's, I found, really increased the fear aspects, and so I played the demo all the way through in first person, and that definitely really worked for me because it really narrows kind of like your vision, and that creates very bespoke kind of like created scares. There's a moment where you go into a room and you're trying to push a cart around and bits are falling off the cart, and as you do that, because of the way your frame of vision is like honed, you see like the shadow of this creature walking past the window. And when I replay the demo with kind of like in third person and play through that section again, I didn't quite get the same scare because the way that the angle is opened up and really where Grace is in the frame covered that up. However, you do get benefits for playing in third person. Dale, I know that you played a lot more of the demo in third person than me, and you were talking about the bespoke animations that has.
Yeah, so I mean, in all honesty, I prefer first person for these as well. However, I really wanted to see what it was like in third person, and when we were looking back and comparing what we did, we noticed that the third person like has very bespoke animations. Very specifically, when you're in first person, you're running away. It's just you're beelining down a corridor. But when you're in third person, Grace sometimes will trip and stumble and fall. And I feel like that was a really clever way of adding some horror elements, making you a bit scared. I think there's something, when the threat is so looming in first person, it feels way more intimidating. So third person inherently can feel a little less scary. However, I think tripping and falling is an excellent example of how they've really thought about how do we make it scary in third person as well. And it's a little touch I really appreciate.
I think the other thing that was really cool is the fact that it's not just that third person is kind of an option, like it was when they added it into Resident Evil Village. It kind of felt like it was there as a concession. Now it's definitely woven in those two viewpoints. And so there are cutscenes where the camera will go into the back of Grace's head and do things in first person, but there are also cutscenes that are bespokely made to be in third person. It feels like it's a really coherent package this time around.
Absolutely, and I hope we get to see tons more of that in the final game when it comes out in 2026. But for everything else, all Capcom games are Resident Evil. Let's keep watching at Gamescom 2025.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. From Dawn of the Dead to Dead Rising, there's plenty of zombie fiction that takes place in shopping centres, but so far, none of it has also taken place in the Middle Ages. Here to tell us about God Save Birmingham, creative director Hyung Song Cha and content manager Gwyn Kim will be translating. Hi. Now, no offence to our UK audience, but why Birmingham and why not Paris or Berlin or London?
파리나 베를린, 런던 같은 도시가 아니라 어째서 버밍엄을 선택하셨는지에 대한 질문이 나왔습니다.
네, 저희가 참 많이 듣는 질문인데요. 저희도 중세 시대를 배경으로 한 좀비 서바이벌 게임을 기획했을 때 가장 먼저 고려했던 도시들이 파리, 런던 같은 현대 유럽 도시들의 가장 큰 수도 도시들이었는데요. 다만 저희가 그것에 대한 리서치를 시작했을 때 그 도시들은 이미 중세 시대에도 굉장히 큰 도시였었습니다. 저희의 개발팀이 그렇게까지 큰 편은 아니기 때문에 저희가 제작을 충분히 할 수 있는 규모의 도시를 선정했어야 됐었고, 그래서 현재까지도 명맥이 유지되는 아주 유명한 도시이나 중세 시대에는 그렇게까지 크지 않았던 도시를 중심으로 다시 리서치를 시작했고, 그 리서치의 후보 중에 하나가 버밍엄이었는데, 버밍엄 뮤지엄에서 아주 좋은 역사 사료를 유튜브에 공개해 주셨습니다. 그 사료를 확인해보고 이 자료가 우리 게임을 만드는 데 굉장히 많이 도움이 되겠다 해서 그 결정적인 역할을 해서 버밍엄을 선택하게 되었습니다.
So when the team decided to create a zombie survival based in the Middle Ages, they actually did consider those cities like London, Paris, Berlin, those famous capitals in many countries. During research, though, they learned that those cities were still pretty sizable even back in Middle Ages, and considering the size of the dev team, which is not too big, they felt the scope would be a little bit beyond what they could manage. So they did another set of research to find a city that's still famous, still around, and was around back in the Middle Ages, but of more of a manageable size that they could handle. And during that process, they found a YouTube video posted by the Museum of Birmingham, and while they watched it and took a close look at it, they felt that would tremendously help them create the city for the game, and that's how they decided with Birmingham.
And so it sounds like you started with the Middle Ages before the city. So what is it about that time period that made you want to create the game there?
네, 그래서 기획 단계에서부터 중세를 고려하셨던 것으로 보이는데 중세를 선택하게 된 이유가 있다면 설명 부탁드리겠습니다.
네. 저희 좀비물의 굉장한 팬으로서 저는 또 더 처절하고 어려운 그런 환경에서 살아나는 좀비 게임을 만들고 싶었는데, 그쵸, 현대적인 총기라든지 엔진의 힘을 빌릴 수 없는 중세 시대를 고려하게 되었습니다.
So, as a big fan of zombie games himself, Hyun-sung was intending to create a zombie survival game that's even more desperate, even more difficult, and wanted to choose a time period where you can't find the modern firearms or like engine or motor driven tools or power tools. So he decided to choose the Middle Ages for that.
So what are we going to do about the zombies? Without all those kind of modern gadgets and shotguns and chainsaws, how do we fight back?
샷건이나 전기톱 같은 그 현대 도구들 없이 어떻게 좀비와 싸울 수 있을지에 대한 질문이었습니다.
네. 우선적으로는 게임에서 제공하는 중세의 많은 냉병기들을 잘 활용할 수 있어야 되고요. 저희는 그런 무기들의 카테고리마다 다양한 메커니즘을 제공해 줄 예정이라 그런 무기별 메커니즘을 플레이어가 잘 익히고 적재적소에 잘 사용하는 게 가장 주된 점이고요. 그리고 저희의 그 적극적으로 활용하고 있는 피직스 엔진에 의해서 게임 속의 많은 사물들을 자유롭게 물리적으로 들어 옮기고 던지고 할 수 있습니다. 그런 것들을 활용해서 좀비를 넘어뜨린다거나 그리고 좀비의 접근을 막는 등 이렇게 적극적으로 활용해서 좀비에 대적할 수 있습니다.
So the game will be providing various cold weapons, and each weapon category would have its own set of mechanics tied to it. So the player would need to learn how to use them and use them well in the right place, in the right time. That'd be one way to do it. And also the game uses the physics engine features extensively. So a lot of the objects in the game can be thrown around or carried or like placed they can be moved around and placed strategically. So you can also block zombies from getting close to you or even like trip them over. Use them in various ways to keep them away, or keep them at bay and ensure your survival.
Yeah, I think I saw some good cabbage throwing footage that I'm excited about. So you said you're a fan of zombie games. What do you think has been missing from the genre until now?
네, 좀비 게임 팬이라고 하셨는데
네네.
그 여태껏 있었던 좀비 게임들에서 이건 있었으면 좋겠다 했는데 아직 없던 요소가 있다면 무엇이 있을까요?
대체로 좀비 게임들에서는 좀비와 캐릭터의 상호작용을 그 사전에 제작된 애니메이션 형태로 다루는 케이스가 많은데 그리고 실제로 게임 속에서는 거의 그럴 수밖에 없기도 하고요. 그래서 좀비가 캐릭터를 공격하거나 이럴 때 주변에 다른 좀비들이 그 상황을 그냥 봐주고 있는 등의 이런 묘사가 좀 일어나는데 저는 그 부분이 좀 아쉬웠어요. 좀비는 이제 수많은 나를 둘러싼 좀비들이 나를 동시에 붙잡고 엉겨붙으면서 나를 물어뜯으려고 하는 그런 묘사를 굉장히 하고 싶었는데 게임에서는 미처 그럴 수가 없어서 저는 그것을 조금 더 발전시키고 싶어서 절차적 애니메이션을 통해서 좀비의 그런 많은 좀비들의 동시적인 공격이나 물어뜯음을 묘사할 수 있는 형태로 게임 메커니즘을 만들었습니다.
So, yes, one of the things that he found missing was that a lot of the zombie games, when the player is or the character is interacting with the zombies, it's usually using a pre-scripted animation set where it creates cases like if the player is getting attacked by one zombie, there are a bunch of the rest of the horde is just looking at them, and he felt he wanted to create an experience where the entire horde is coming at you, like kind of trying to grapple you and bite you. So he has created a way of having procedural animation where multiple zombies can try to grab and bite you at the same time.
Oh, well, I mean, that sounds terrifying. So I can't wait to experience that. And it must be pretty special being able to create a game that does all that. So I can't wait to play it.
이게 또 무서운 부분이기도 하고 아무래도 그런 게임을 플레이하게 되는 걸 기대하고 있다고 그런 얘기는.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God Save Birmingham is targeting an early access release sometime in 2026, so add it to your Steam wishlist right now on the official Gamescom Steam event. There's more Gamescom Studio on the way after this.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
Hey you! Looking for a way to wear your fandom with pride? The IGN store is the ultimate destination for awesome merch and collectibles from the biggest games, movies, shows, and everything in between. Cruise the wasteland in style with a Vault Dweller hoodie and replica Pip-Boy. Kick back and relax to some of the best game soundtracks ever pressed on limited edition vinyl. Or level up your whole wardrobe with a massive selection of officially licensed apparel. From iconic properties like Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda to newer fan favorites like Atomfall and Expedition 33, the IGN store has you covered. Whatever you're into, you're bound to find something. See for yourself and head to store.ign.com today.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Next month, the original looter shooter is back. Here to tell us what fans have to look forward to in Borderlands 4 is founder and president of Gearbox Software, Randy Pitchford. What's up, Randy?
Hey, we're at Gamescom. That's what's up.
That is it. Gamescom is what is up. Randy, Borderlands is almost here.
I know.
It's almost here.
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
I bet. Now, I do have to put the screws to you for a little bit. 30 billion guns, that was all you guys could do this time around? Take it a little easy, right?
It's not about a number. Yeah. No, it's weird. You know, we've been making these Borderlands games. Some of the guys on the team and I have been working on Borderlands for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Starting to get pretty good at it. But we've got these systems that we've evolved, you know, that let us procedurally generate the weapons. And so we're not shooting for a particular number, but in this go around with the guns, we came up with this pretty fun idea that we call licensed parts. So some of the manufacturers in this capitalist Borderlands world will license their technology to the other manufacturers. So you can get TDR weapons that can have guns with legs, or Malio-1 weapons that have elemental effects, and those abilities can be licensed to the other manufacturers. So you might get, say, an Atlas weapon that's got all these other functions from the other man. It's really, really cool, and it leads to just more combinations, more possibilities for gameplay.
More time to grind and get that perfect weapon.
Well, that's the thing, right? Everyone's got for their build the perfect piece of loot they're after.
Yeah. So, like we're talking about weapons, Borderlands is known for its guns. We've had guns that talk, we've had guns that walk, we've had guns that shoot poop, that shoot food. What's one of the really cool things we're getting in Borderlands 4?
You want the weird stuff?
Yeah, what's the weird? Let's go weird.
Fish grenades? I don't
Are those fish that are grenades, or the grenades blow up into fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Either one. Oh, crazy stuff. But you know, one of the things that I love is speaking of grenades, we kind of recaptured the grenade button, and we now call that ordnance. So not only can you slot grenades in there, you can slot all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Massive miniguns and big rocket launchers, even like throwing knives, all kinds of weird stuff that you've never seen, weapons you've never seen in a Borderlands game before are now part of that, and they kind of work almost like a new action skill in addition to your hero character's action skills, which of course, there's a ton of those too, so lots of combinations.
No, it's very cool. Like, I really love the idea that we're going to be able to really change our playstyle based on what ordnance we have set in that slot.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like, depending on what you slot into it, like some people use it for things that can kind of get them out of a situation. I like to use it for things that are just, they're on cooldown, but when I press it, it's because I love feeling powerful. I just want to feel like a badass when I play Borderlands.
Go big or go home.
Right.
Speaking of badass, our badass rank's going to be returning in this round?
We got something along those lines.
Okay.
We always push boundaries and we always try things. I think what we've got is an upgrade from that. But there's with every Borderlands game, we've always teetered with different types of innovation. One of the cool things about having this be the 4th game is we have now all kinds of places where we've kind of, that game we went too far here, or we went, and now we kind of know where the bullseyes are.
Yeah.
So, we've really kind of honed in on the best of the best. But some of the systems we love, we'll iterate, improve on, and tweak a little bit. And Badass Rank's one of those systems.
Nice. Now we've seen a few of our Vault Hunters in action. We've seen Vex, Rafa, and Amon. But we haven't seen Harlow. When's Harlow getting her time to shine with all her background
You know
stuff?
what's funny about Harlow is I'm like right now I think she's my favorite Vault Hunter. So maybe we've been holding out, saving her for the end. But she's really, really awesome. I've been playing Harlow a lot lately. You know what's funny is when we started with Harlow, I think when we did our first introduction of all the 4 Vault Hunters, they all have different cosmetics and different kinds of heads and skins, and there was a really nerdy head that was on her for that first appearance. And then I started playing her a lot. I'm like, dude, I'm a nerd. I don't want to have the nerd. I don't want to I want to play like the badass. So we kind of switched to one of the other heads and gave her these really cool glasses and messed with her look now is just fire. I love it. But she has awesome crowd control abilities, which chain together in really unique ways depending on how you build your skills out. So I've been having a lot of fun with her. It's weird because I was certain, earlier in development when I was spending most of my time with Vex that was going to be my character, but now I'm pretty sure it's going to be Harlow.
I've been a Siren main every single Borderlands game, and I was like, but Harlow looks so cool.
If you like phase locking and that kind of crowd control gameplay, you're probably going to be a Harlow player.
Okay. Yeah. We actually have some Harlow gameplay up now. So can you just kind of talk about some of the things that we're seeing the footage of this Harlow doing?
Oh yeah, so right now we're actually in a run up to a boss fight, which is a pretty gnarly fight. You can see a couple of it looks like she's actually got. Oh, I don't have my glasses on. I can't quite see what that looks like. There might be a throwing knife in the ordnance slot. But I don't have my glasses on, so forgive me if I'm...
No worries. But it is a throwing knife, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if whoever's playing does the action skill. This is the run-up to a really awesome, wicked boss fight. Look, there's... Oh, okay, so she's using the Powerball. It's stunned him. There's also versions that can lock, ones that bounce around. There's lots of different ways that she can use these gravity balls. Her class is a Gravatar, and she uses science. She doesn't need magic that sirens use. She uses science and her inventions to have different effects on the battlefield. So with this particular build, you're going to see a lot of not just. It's kind of a combination between suppression and damage dealing with the way this version of the gravity balls are being used. My favorite are just pure locking and crowd control. Suspensions, I like holding enemies in the air for me. I like some of the moves can automatically bounce the gravity balls from enemy to enemy. And you notice in this one too, it'll time dilate. Let's see if it's on cooldown right now. We got another 30 seconds, but it can surround an enemy and slow them down to almost nothing. And it also slows down bullets, which is kind of cool too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, this is looking just like my kind of character, so I can't wait to get hands-on with Harlow. Now, back in pre-sequel, there was a lot of multiplayer interaction that you could have with the other Vault Hunters. Are we going to see any of that kind of? I know you talked about tweaking stuff and going back things.
One of the boldest, scariest decisions I made when we were working on Borderlands 3 was to insist that we render all of our cutscenes in the engine in real time. Before that, even in pre-sequel, all of our cutscenes were pre-rendered and they just played as videos. When we made the decision, we weren't sure if we were going to pull it off. I said, we're going to do it. If we can, we're going to ship with it. But we're definitely going to try. But because we weren't sure if we could ship with it, we made the decisions to not include the Vault Hunters in the cutscenes. Because if you don't see your character, it's kind of weird. You know? I'm glad we made that decision, though, because we did pull it off. We did successfully get to the point where we can now render everything in real time. So now in Borderlands 4, all of the Vault Hunter, whatever Vault Hunter you're playing, is in the cutscene, which gives us the ability to integrate the Vault Hunters themselves, the player characters, in more of the story. They all have unique dialogue. They all have unique characterizations and interactions, not just with the NPCs, but even with each other if you're playing in co-op. And we've pushed that part of the simulation farther than we've ever pushed it before. And it's kind of fun too, because as you know, with the customizations, there's all kinds of weird costumes and outfits people can wear. Those show up in the cutscenes too. So go crazy if you want to break the game and have some really funny interactions. It's absolutely possible.
I plan on breaking the game as much as possible.
It's part of the fun of Borderlands to break the game.
It really is. Now, Borderlands no stranger to having tons of missions. How many missions are we looking at in Borderlands 4?
Well, I will tell you that there's a very, very healthy main campaign. I'm not going to tell you the exact number of missions, but all of the things that are like critical path that are necessary for the main storyline, it's about the length of what you would expect if you've played past Borderlands games. But with the side quests and the side missions, we have not just doubled down, but tripled down. There's like a multitude more than we've ever done before. So many, and you could do them or not. They're all totally optional. Some of them are just quick little, almost instantaneous little fun side things. Others are full drawn out adventures, the length of some of our DLCs, all for just a side quest outside of the main story beat. So there's a lot to do. And that's because it's the biggest game we've ever made. We made this seamless world. You know, finally technology has caught up to our ambitions. You could tell when you play even early Borderlands games that we've always wanted a wide open world, but we haven't been able to do it. We've always had to, you know, narrow things out and make a little junction point with a cutscene or with a loading time, mostly with loading times, which sucks because you're waiting to play the game. You're waiting for the technology to catch up. In Borderlands 4, the hardware and the software we've developed and our use of Unreal Engine has caught up to our ambition. So now it's a wide, seamless world. And with that, we populate it. So in addition to main storylines and side quests, there's all kinds of other activities that are dynamic and just sort of happen, and little things to do that you could discover and immerse yourself in as you explore the Borderlands.
So yeah, no, like the vision is always like, it's always seemed like it's wanted to go push further and further, and you guys have been doing each iteration.
Thanks. Yeah, we try. We are, you know, and sometimes we push too far, but I think that's part of, you know, we're artists, and you know, it's part of what goes with it.
Art, you know, it evokes emotion and such. And
you can feel. You could feel the Gearbox team. You could feel us in our games. We're all in there, and for better or for worse. But we definitely commit ourselves to it. And I think, I'm hoping, I know for me as someone who loves entertainment in a world where like everything's getting more and more digital and things can be AI generated, that I actually appreciate more when I could feel the human craftsmanship, the handmade work. And I don't know, it feels really good. And when I have so many people on the team, like for me, one of the reasons why I love to play solo a lot, and co-op's fun, but I want, like, there's beauty just under a rock with an artist that's painted the little doodles.
Just getting that chance to kind of explore it yourself. Now, you know, speaking of like evoking emotion and such like that, the $80 comment around games. I got to ask you about it. Do you worry that approach is going to be detrimental to the potential success of Borderlands?
What approach?
The $80, like the conversation around the $80 game gamers will.
Well, I think that whole thing is a byproduct of something I'm kind of just, I think is important, which is, I am on Twitter and I'm accessible. And anyone could, I'm at Duval Magic on Twitter, and anyone in the world could message me, and I reply, and I use the platform for what it's worth. Now, it was really interesting, right? Because, you know, there's a conversation that happens, which, let's be honest, the sum of all social media talk and the sum of every article written about that doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't. At the end of the day, as all of us do, when we approach entertainment, we think about what it is that we want and what it is they're asking of us. And if we want something and it feels like a fair price or whatever the barrier is, then we explore it and we engage in it. And if it doesn't feel fair, we step away. And both Gearbox and Take-Two and 2K have always had the attitude of, we want to make sure in every case that whenever we're making entertainment with people, and whatever it costs, that whoever's getting it feels like they got the better end of the deal. That the value that they're getting for whatever they're spending is better. And I think we've always lived up to that.
I agree.
Now,
I think you guys have really done that with like your DLCs and extra expansions in previous Borderlands. Like I've always felt like I've gotten the value in the hours I've put into those.
Thank you.
So.
And I do know something about the game. I've been working on Borderlands 4 for 6 years.
So.
It's amazing value. The truth is, when we designed the model and when we built everything, like it all makes sense. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And the price isn't up to me anyway. I was just engaging in a conversation that was happening
for sure
on the internet.
And that's been a conversation that's been happening.
And it's an
for
interesting
a lot of
conversation.
It is.
For any given product, the conversation doesn't matter. I'm really, as an artist, I'm thrilled that my partners, that Take-Two and 2K decided to sell Borderlands for the same price that we sold Borderlands 3 for, not raise the price with some other games, because I want everybody to play it. I want as many people as possible to play it. And, there might be a little bit of friction there for some people as prices go up. But I also know that from a value perspective, they probably could have charged 5 times as much and it would have felt worth it. And some people might have been willing to pay that. I don't know if I would have, but
it's the maker of it. Sure.
I want it to be as cheap as possible.
Hey,
though.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, thank you so much. Borderlands 4 hits PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on September 12th, and it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on October 3rd. But right now, there's more Gamescom Studio right here on IGN.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors, the biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. And we're just getting started. Ready to jump into some gameplay? Then get set for Gamescom Opening Night Live, featuring the major announcements and brand new game trailers. Less watching, more playing? Then stop by Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from beloved indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indies, our show featuring the hottest new titles from the scene. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom Cosplay Contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Join live shows, esports tournaments, and creator events at the Gamescom Event Arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website, gamescom.global, and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. While you're there, make your voice count in the Gamescom Award. Vote for the most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course, they're back, hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, AP, crashing the party. You'll find our all-time favorite RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us. Our initiative, Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at like 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Así fue que empezó. Vamos a ver si no es que están haciendo.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins. Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more. Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys. Wow! Exactly. Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
In Echoes of the End, you'll play as Rin, a vestige born with volatile magical power. When her brother is abducted by a brutal empire on the brink of war, Rin's journey to rescue him reveals a buried conspiracy that could reignite an ancient conflict and destroy her homeland. Master fast-paced tactical combat that fuses swordplay with devastating magical powers. Take on human and monstrous foes and face epic boss battles that demand strategy and skill. Control time and gravity as you explore a fragmented realm shaped by Iceland's raw beauty, from molten lava fields to frozen ruins. You'll also work closely with Abram, a haunted scholar, to fight, explore, and solve puzzles. Your connection grows throughout the game, shaping gameplay and story alike. Let's take a look.
When the time comes, wouldn't you rather have friends among your conquerors?
Dead men make poor conquerors.
This is Gamescom Studio on IGN. If you're a fan of games about stealthy, sword-wielding assassins, 2025 has already been jam-packed, but one of the deadliest around is still waiting to strike. Here to tell us about Ninja Gaiden 4, producer, director Yuji Nakao, and global project manager Joe Muntel, who'll be translating. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Ninja Gaiden 4, this time around, we're following a new character named Yakumo. What can you tell us about Yakumo?
本作は新しい主人公ヤクモについて教えていただけますか？
そうですね。はい。今回の新しい主人公であるヤクモは竜ハヤブサが所属しているハヤブサの一族とは対極に位置する裏の一族として、満を持して登場します。で、このヤクモに関しては黒竜の祖先になっているので、その宿命を断ち切るために戦っていくことになるんですけど、その目的が竜と対立することによって竜との激闘が繰り広げられたりとか、その道行く敵、今回のメインの敵である竜神島だったりとかと戦うことになってしまうというそんな感じの物語になっています。
So the new protagonist Yakumo is a member of the Raven clan, which is a separate clan from Ryu Hayabusa's Hayabusa clan. And the Raven clan operates in the shadows of the Hayabusa clan, and Yakumo is on a mission to kill the Dark Dragon, which is the nemesis of Ninja Gaiden 4. And on the way to completing his mission, he will have to clash with Ryu Hayabusa, who has different motivations and objectives. And along the way, he'll also face off against the Divine Dragon Order, which you see him fighting many soldiers of the Divine Dragon Order in the footage that has been revealed up until this point.
I want to ask about Ryu in just a moment, but I think we're looking at the story trailer that you just debuted here at Gamescom. So, tell us about what you wanted to do when you were telling this new story for Ninja Gaiden 4.
そうですね。昨日オープニングナイトライブでストーリートレーラーが公開されてたんですけども、本作のストーリー、についてもうちょっと具体的に教えていただければと思いますけど。
はい。 まず時代に関しては忍者ガイデン3からしばらく経ったある日なんですけど、もともと忍者ガイデンの過去シリーズで、何度か復活しては倒してを繰り返していた黒竜っていうのが、空に浮かぶ死体として、出てしまうことになります。でその封印を解いて、黒竜を倒すためにヤクモは、セオリっていうヒロインと共に進んでいくんですけれども、一方でその封印を竜ハヤブサだったり竜神島っていうのが守らないといけないというところから、目的が違うことによって戦ってしまうことになるということで、その黒竜にまつわる黒竜が渦巻く物語になっていくので、その黒竜が実際どうなっていくのかとか、竜ハヤブサとヤクモはどうなってしまうのか、どういう戦いになっていくのかっていうところが見どころかなと思います。
So Ninja Gaiden 4's story is, it's set against the backdrop of this Dark Dragon nemesis. So the Dark Dragon has appeared in prior Ninja Gaiden titles, and in Ninja Gaiden 4, the Dark Dragon has been defeated a number of times, but in Ninja Gaiden 4, its husk is floating in the sky, and it is not completely annihilated yet. So it's actually been sealed away, and in order to completely cleanse the world of the Dark Dragon, Yakumo sets out to release the seals that are sealing away the Dark Dragon. And to that end, he teams up with another character who's been revealed, the heroine, Seori. And that is what leads to the clash with Ryu Hayabusa and the Divine Dragon Order, which their objective is to keep the Dark Dragon sealed away because they're aware of the risks that will present themselves if they decide to release the seals that are sealing away this nemesis, the Dark Dragon.
So how did you decide to go with the new protagonist and make Ryu more of a supporting character this time around?
今回は新しい主人公ということになるので、役もメインっていう認識ですけども、それについてリュウハイブサじゃなくて役もメインにしようと思ったきっかけについて教えていただけますか？
はい。今回チーム忍者さんとコラボレーションで、忍者ガイデン4を作っていくのにあたって、忍者ガイデン3からやっぱり時間がすごい経っているっていうところもあったりしたので、これからその新しく忍者ガイデンを遊んでいただく方にもすっと受け入れてもらいたいなっていうところと、あとこれから新しい忍者ガイデンを作っていくっていうのにあたって、プレイヤーの目線で一緒に成長していけるキャラクターを作りたいっていうところからヤクモを入れることにしました。でただですね、もちろん忍者ガイデンのアイコンとなっているキャラクターとしてリュウハイブサっていうのはしっかり立っておりますので、ストーリーに関してもヤクモでプレイするパートもあればリュウでプレイするパートもあったりとかっていうところでしっかりと物語には絡めていくので、往年のファンの方に関してもご安心いただいてプレイしていただければなと思います。
So, since it's been such a long time since the last mainline entry in, Ninja Gaiden, we wanted to, make a fresh entry point for new players as well. And that's why we decided to introduce a new protagonist in the form of Yakumo, who players can, grow together with in this new game. But with that said, of course, Ryu Hayabusa is the Ninja Gaiden icon. So, players can rest assured that Ryu Hayabusa will have a strong presence in the story, and there are dedicated segments in the story for Ryu Hayabusa as well. So, fans of Ryu Hayabusa will definitely have a great time with they're playing through the story of Ninja Gaiden 4.
Well, fans of Ryu Hayabusa, like IGN users Full Metal 6661 and Darkwing Spartan, would love to know, is Ryu's only weapon the Dragon Sword?
そうですね、ユーザーからの質問も聞いていますけども、竜の武器種についてですが、竜剣のみですかっていう質問ですが。
そうですね、今回竜ハヤブサに関しては竜剣を使って戦うことになります。で加えてですね、これまで過去作にあった忍法ですねを使い分けながら戦っていくことになります。で反対にヤクモに関してはこれまで紹介した武器に加えて、それぞれのカラスの方という通常状態と、ヌエの方っていうダイナミックな、技の数々っていうのを楽しめるので、その竜とヤクモ両方を使って楽しんでもらえたらなというふうに思います。
So yeah, in Ninja Gaiden 4, Ryu's weapon in the base game will be the Dragon Sword. But in addition to the Dragon Sword, he'll also be able to seamlessly use his Ninpo, so you can switch between Ninpo on the fly while in combat. And with regards to Yakumo's weapon variety, he uses his Blood Raven form to transform his base weapons. So each weapon itself is a pair. So there's in total 8 weapon varieties, if you will. So you'll be able to experience a wide, breadth of weapon variety in the game with both characters.
So I don't think, in all the combat we've seen, I don't think we've seen any ranged combat except for shurikens. Will there be new ranged weapons for either Yakumo or Ryu?
そうですね、今までの映像だと遠距離の武器あまり見当たらなかったんですけども、それについてどうですかね。
そうですね、今回はですね、これまで使っていた多彩なアクションの中で、特にヌエの方っていうところに遠距離の技っていうのを集約しておりまして、基本的な操作の中で使える遠距離武器に関しては手裏剣のみになります。でただ昨日オープニングナイトライブで公開させてもらった映像の中で使っている新武器に関しては遠距離と近距離を両方使い分けて戦うっていう、非常にトリッキーな武器になっているので、こちらの武器は他の武器とまた違う毛色になっているので、そういったところでその遠距離の遊びみたいのは十分に楽しめる形になっているかなと思います。
So in terms of long-range weapons, like you alluded to in your question, the main long-range weapon will be the shurikens. But using Yakumo's Blood Raven form, for example, each weapon has its own projectile techniques that you can use to attack enemies who are away from you. So each Blood Raven form has a long-range technique that you can use. But also, I invite players to look at the trailer that was revealed yesterday, where we revealed the Assassin's Tools weapon. So that weapon is kind of a jack of all trades, and you could really, be tricky because it has a lot of long-range options as well as close-range options.
Can you talk about how weapon upgrades work?
今回武器のアップグレードについて教えていただけますか？
武器のアップグレード、
多分武器の技についてですね。
そうですね。今回ですね、武器に関してはこれまでの忍者外伝アクションだったりとか、その基本的な操作に付随したものを習得できる体術っていうものと、あとそれぞれの武器に対する固有の必殺技みたいなものが存在します。でまず前者の体術に関してはステージの途中でアシストキャラクターに、お金を払って教えてもらいながらアクションを順次学んでいくっていうものになっていて、武器の方の特殊な技に関しては、戦闘で貯める武器の経験値を使って解放していくことになります。でそれぞれ体術の方は、忍者外伝ならではのアクションっていうのを取り揃えてて、武器の方に関しては、ある種プラチナゲームズならではのダイナミックなアクションの数々っていうのを楽しめるように住み分けているような形になっています。
Yeah, so the way progression works in Ninja Gaiden 4, there are combat skills and then there's weapon skills. So combat skills you'll be able to acquire from this character called Tyron, who you'll meet in each level, and you can use Ninja Coin, which is the in-game currency that you obtain just through general progression, defeating enemies. And within those combat skills, you'll find those legacy, Ninja Gaiden techniques. That's where you can find your Izuna drop and your flying swallow that you'll, of course, be able to acquire at a very early point in the game because it doesn't cost much currency. And then separate from that, there are the weapon abilities that you can, open up the menu, select your weapon, and you'll see this huge, variety of weapon techniques that you can acquire using a separate currency. It's weapon experience, and that's where you'll find those, very dynamic Platinum Games-esque, over-the-top, stylish abilities.
One more quick question before we let you go. A lot of fans are excited to play Ninja Gaiden 4. Are there any plans to release a demo as we get closer to launch?
最後になりますけども、発売に近づいてて一般向けのデモ私有を出す予定があったりしますでしょうかっていう。
そうですね。 今回ゲームズコムで初めて一般の主流になっていて雑魚敵との戦闘っていう忍者ガイデンらしいプリミティブな体験から今回から新しくさらに進化したボス戦まで楽しめるような形になってます。でこの後もですねちょっとまだ計画中ではあるんですけどいろいろな方に体験していただきたいのでそういった機会は積極的に考えていきたいなっていうふうに思っていますのでぜひそちらもお楽しみにお待ちください。であと私有をしていただくと今ゲームズコムで私有していただくとこちらのピンバッジももらえますのでぜひ皆さんはいこっちかなはいぜひプレイしてください。よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, so right now, the general public who are visiting Gamescom, they'll be able to experience Ninja Gaiden 4, and the build we've prepared for the general public captures that kind of challenging, intense Ninja Gaiden experience. They'll be able to enjoy a boss fight as well. So we invite players to challenge themselves. With regards to future plans, we're still considering things, but we want to explore opportunities to allow more players to experience Ninja Gaiden ahead of launch. And if you do play the demo today, you'll be able to receive these pins of both Yakumo and Ryu. So if you're at Gamescom, please check out the demo and have fun.
Very cool. I'm excited to play. Thank you both so much. Ninja Gaiden 4 slices and dices this way onto Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and PC on October 21st. And right now, there's more Gamescom Studio here on IGN.
This is Gamescom Studio on IGN. Up next, we're delving into an immersive 3D dungeon crawler developed by some veterans of the Gothic and Risen games, which may or may not involve some demon slaying. Here's Clarlin.
Who's in charge down here? You don't wanna know? Says who? Haven't you seen that cute, pretty statue in the Abyss Chamber? We better not talk about it too loud. They won't have ears, if you know what I mean. I think I've seen enough down here. I wonder who ties your shoes for you in the morning.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. We've just about reached the end of our day one coverage here at Gamescom, but don't worry, because we're just getting started here.
That's right. Tomorrow we've got brand new looks at some of the biggest games heading your way soon, like Hollow Knight Silksong, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, the Order of the Giants DLC coming to Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and The Outer Worlds 2, plus Deadpool VR, and so much more.
And if you're excited for anything that you've seen here at Gamescom, show some love to the developers by wishlisting their games on Steam. You can find everything we featured today and tons more in the official Gamescom Steam event, along with other games worth checking out you might not even know about.
But for now, that's a wrap on day one of Gamescom Studio on IGN. So, from all of us here at IGN, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Bueno, Corillo, ya se acabó. Muchísimas gracias. Gracias por darse la vueltita.